Stephen Tielemans, very good to welcome you to the Connected Media IP studio. Welcome.
Thank you.
So, THEOplayer, tell us what you think the best strategy is for video publishers, because many build their own video player, others buy it in. What should they be doing in your view?
Yeah. One of the most critical parts of an online video service is the video player in it. It's the element that is customer facing, it's the element that determines the experience of the viewer, and therefore it's often seen as a critical asset of a video service. So online video publishers, they are faced with the question whether they should either build their own video solution or externally buy or license it from another company. And what the best approach is not a straightforward question to answer for these publishers. It can depend on a number of different factors.
Okay, so what should they be considering then? What are the factors?
Well, there are a number of different factors that they should take into account. For example, a key consideration they should make in the buy versus build discussion is whether they would like to own the product releases, the product features, the product roadmap of the product themselves. And it can still be doable in an initial phase of the development for teams, but it can become also more challenging later on for the maintenance on the long term, for the support on the long term of the solution, especially because online video is evolving so fast these days. And there are also a number of interesting and good online video players, open source video players on the market, like for example Dash.js. That can make it even more attractive for video publishers to decide to build their own solution on top of these open source video players. It might seem cheaper, it might seem that they have full control about the solution, that they can build a custom tailored solution easily on top of it. However, what we see is that once requirements become more advanced, once they need to integrate with external services, that often these off-the-shelf open source players are not sufficient anymore. And then the teams, they start tweaking it themselves, and internally you start spending resources, R&D resources on it, while you could spend these resources as well on other things. And the initial development is not the only thing to consider. Also on the long term, the support that you need to give for maintaining the solution, supporting the solution on the long term is also an important aspect to take into account.
So it's quite a hard question to answer, really.
Yeah.
I mean, if I pressed you and said, on balance, what would you advise? Would it be to develop your own customized video player, or to buy an off-the-shelf one?
Well, I think there are good arguments for both options. I think the most important is that an online video publisher thinks strategically what is his best option, either to buy it from an external party or to license it. Not only taking into account the initial development cost, but also on the long term, the maintenance and support cost that is associated with it. I think the most costly mistake that companies can make is not spending sufficient time upfront in evaluating the pros and cons of both solutions, and having to conclude in the middle of the project that while they started developing their own solution, that it's probably better to switch to buying an external solution. And engineers, and I can say that because I'm an engineer myself, we love to build things. So the first reflex of a technical team is often to build things, themselves, to build a own video player solution. I think therefore it's important as well that within the team, and also the higher levels of the team, the management of the team, that they make a clear strategic choice or an evaluation on what is the best option for them, either building the video player internally or buying it or licensing it from an external party, such as, for example, THEOplayer.
Stephen Tielemans, thank you very much for your time. Good to talk to you.
Thank you.
And have a great NAB show.
Thank you.